Joining us on the phone right now is BART spokesperson Jim Allison with hopefully an update on where we are now in contract talks. Jim, good morning.
Good morning, James.
So
essentially, we are ready to talk, we being BART. We're waiting to see if the mediator can bring both sides together. So that's where we're at. We're ready to talk today, tonight, as long as it takes to get the BART trains running again. I would never presume to speak for the unions. They have their own leadership, of course. So we're hopeful that they're in a bargaining mode as well, but we simply don't know at this point.
So does that mean the ball's in the union's court? Or are you guys just waiting to hear from them?
Well, the mediator is really the central party here, so we're hopeful that the mediator can bring us together.
Okay, so if both sides tell the mediator we're ready to talk, then he or she will schedule a time and as soon as possible get you guys together?
That would be the best case scenario, yes.
Okay, so without getting too into the details or too technical, what is it that's still separating your offer with the unions? I mean, what do we still have to resolve here?
Well, the central issues of this negotiation, which are outlined on BARTlabornews.com, are the pensions and the health care contributions. Right now, BART workers do not pay into their pensions at all, and BART employees pay $92 for health insurance, regardless of the number of dependents or the plan. So we need to have structural changes in that type of compensation for us to have the money to reinvest and keep BART running for another 40 years.
So is there a middle ground there that you guys can agree on, or is BART union workers saying they don't want to increase their share at all?
Well, again, I would never presume to speak for the union leaders. I think that there are reasonable minds that would differ on what a fair contract represents, but it's going to take a fair contract agreement to get the trains running again, and that's what we want to see happen. We're ready to talk.
Do you feel like the union's taking kind of a more hardball approach to this round of talks? Because I remember hearing Sunday, when you guys didn't meet the deadline, that they actually had left the talks and did not talk to you guys until midnight, like in past negotiations. So is there a little bit of frustration built around that, and do you think they're playing a little more hardball?
Well, I don't think that the feelings or emotions are at point of discussion here at all. This is something that needs to be worked out at the bargaining table and not in 7-second sound bites.
So it's just sort of a sit and wait, and we're just waiting on the mediator at this point. Do you foresee this lasting a number of days? Could something be hammered out in less than a day?
We're certainly ready to work as hard as we need to get the trains running again. This is a huge inconvenience for hundreds of thousands of people. It's an unfortunate inconvenience for them. We're doing what we can with the limited bus service that we provided. And I should mention that there's plenty of buses at West Oakland Station right now and plenty of parking available. So we're doing what we can. And then the other component is that we are ready to negotiate for as long as we can and hopefully reach a resolution.
You brought up there the shuttle buses. We saw them filling up awfully quick today. They were at capacity, right at the top of the 7 o'clock hour. Are there any plans to add more of those from some of the East Bay BART stations and bring them into West Oakland?
Well, these buses are charter buses that we are paying about $100,000 a day for, and we added 16 buses today compared to yesterday. So we'll look at what happened today and make changes if we can, if we need to do this tomorrow, and to increase our capacity. But this is really just a tiny fraction of the number of people that we normally serve. So we're kind of doing this as a bit of a lifeline and not something that we can sustain for very long.
And is the turnaround pretty quick if you were to come to an agreement as far as getting the BART trains back up and ready? Is it done within hours, minutes? If you came to an agreement today, could tomorrow you be back in service?
We've been running inspection trains on a limited basis to keep this system in a state of readiness, to make sure that everything's operational. And it's a big, complex system, so it's not something that you can just turn around in a minute and get it going. But we're doing whatever we can to make sure that that startup period is as short as possible.
All right, Jim, thank you so much for joining us this morning, and obviously we'll keep in touch with you, and as soon as maybe we can get some sort of meeting scheduled, we'll let everybody know.